This video today is going to teach you how to buy your first stock as a beginner. I know it can be really overwhelming and intimidating when you get online and try to buy a stock and how to even choose a stock. So I want to make that process simple for you because it is pretty easy after a couple of times of practice and just getting used to it. So celebrate because you're going to learn how to buy your first stock today. I'm very excited about this video because it's just an exciting time being able to buy a piece of somebody else's company and learn about their profits and their losses and what makes them grow or shrink, and just be more personally invested into companies that you see every day and companies that you're spending your money on. If you're buying Nikes and going to Starbucks and shopping anywhere, you're buying things that are adding to the profits of these companies. So you being a stock owner is owning a tiny portion of that profit in the long run. And I think it's just really exciting to be part of that. I'll show you how to do the research firsthand so that you can see what is expected of the stock, and then how to decide, because there's so many different stocks out there and it can just become overwhelming and a lot of people just make no decision. I don't want that to be you. Deciding which stocks to buy can be really difficult because there's so many options. What you can do is you can just Google most profitable companies, and that'll start you with a list. And then from that list, you can say, okay, which companies am I familiar with, and which companies do I like, which companies do I want to be part of? Or you can just think, what are my favorite companies? And you can start with that list, and then you could do your research from there. So if you don't have any idea, just Google what are the most profitable companies. I'm just, for this example, going to use these. I just Googled most profitable companies. First one comes up is Apple's. I like to use this site called TipRanks when analyzing stocks. We can get some price targets here. So AAPL, here's where they're thinking that this stock will go over the next 12 months, a 22% upside from where it is trading now. So right now it sits here. This shows the past 12 months of performance, and this shows the projected next 12 months of performance. There's these different analysts that review the stock. You can see them here. You can read their reports over here. This site takes those different analysts and they put them all together and they come up with the average price target. They show the high side and the low side and what the average is. This gives you an idea of what you could expect from the stock over the given year. Now, this is not always correct. A lot of times it's wrong, and there is a wide range from high to low that this stock could fall. Be aware of that when you're deciding what to buy. So that's Apple. Let's look at the next one, JP Morgan. This has a much lower range of high to low. This gap is narrow compared to Apple. So that's kind of a good place to be. It looks like it'll be less risky than Apple might be, just cause you less of a headache over the year. But on the high side, it's 16% versus Apple was like 22%, right? Yeah, 22%. That's why they say that more risk, more return, because here you can see this is going to be more risky because the stock could vary a lot more, but you've got a potential for more return. Let's look at Johnson & Johnson. This one, you can see the margin's very narrow. Returns from high to low, it's a very narrow path, 4% upside. So there's very little risk in this stock, it looks like. But if you look at the past 12 months, you can see that investors have gone through a bit of a bumpy ride. This was at 137 and it went down to 122 and back up. So there's been some movements, and you have to consider that too. Your stock isn't gonna just go up. It will go down too, but hopefully with some research, you pick some that over a year or longer, they do go up. Be patient in the meantime. That's a good starting point. You can look at other stocks like that you use. Obviously, most people have Facebook. So you can say, okay, I use Facebook every day, or Instagram, and what's it doing? It's taken a pretty big drop from just around $200 to now, we can see right here is 141. It's got an average price target of 190. So this could be one that's worth buying right now, especially since it's taken a dip. But look at this low side, 125. So be aware of that. Your money could go down, it could go up, but we want to focus on this average number because that's the most likely scenario. Once you've looked at a few different stocks, or even just one, sometimes it's just about making that decision and go ahead and buy one stock so you can learn about it. If I were to buy one stock today, it could be any one of these companies on this list, or maybe a Facebook or something that you use every day. I'm going to show you how to buy the stock. So I'm going to go to E-Trade. This is the company that I'm familiar with just because I used to work here, so I know how to work the site. You can go to Robinhood. They have free stock trading. E-Trade's stocks are $7. So this is going to be a little bit more expensive. Every company is going to have their trading section. So just find that, whichever company it is that you're using, find trading, and then here's the different things that you could trade. Today we're just talking about stocks. So if you just say you wanted to buy Facebook, you enter the symbol here, Facebook, and then this site shows you what it's doing on the right-hand side over here. So you can see what it's trading at right now, what it's done for the day. So this is the one-day movements. You can also look at 3 months, 1 year, different charts here. So here's the action, right? Buy, sell, click buy, quantity. If let's say you have $500 that you want to invest today, then you could buy 3.5 shares, but I don't think you're allowed to buy half shares. So you could buy 3 shares basically if you have $500 that you were wanting to invest. So price type. People get really confused by these, but I always just tell people go for the market order, because the other options are really more for day traders or people that are maybe you have a stock and you want to sell it or buy it at a certain specific price, but those get really tricky and technical. So I would stay away from those as a beginner and just learn the basics for now. So do market, click preview, and then place order. So this is going to tell you your estimated total cost if you wanted to buy 3 stocks. If you just want to buy 1, of course do that, but then place your order. And then that's it. You're going to see it in your account, and it's pretty easy. Then you can just track what it does. This will give you an overview of what it's doing today, 5 days, 1 month, 1 year. You can see this stock has had a wild ride. So be prepared for that when you do buy stocks like this. High risk, high reward type of thing, because you're gonna see your money flying all over the place over the year. And some people really hate that. I don't like it very much, so I don't buy that many stocks, but I do like to have some. But I invest in mutual funds or ETFs pretty much, and I'll show you how to do that on another video, but today we're talking about stocks. Also, when you scroll down here, you can see different news, like what's going on. Typically, when you see like the stock's down 2.5%, when you look at the stories, you can see why Facebook is performing how it is. Like this was written 5 days ago. So this one's saying that Facebook's undervalued, meaning it's worth more than it's priced at. This person, however, is saying Facebook's evaporating growth story. So this is going to be more of the downside. This is going to be more of the positive. So you can get different opinions and formulate your own opinion based on other people's research. Let's look at the earnings. Companies report earnings every quarter. That's kind of a fun time to watch the stock because you can see what it does. This one just reported at the beginning of this month. I always like to watch earnings reports come out when I own a specific stock just because I like to see what's going on. But it's dramatic. Sometimes it'll drop 5% or 10% in one day, or it can shoot up 5 or 10%. And usually it kind of moves very quickly right around earnings time, and then it'll calm down and get back to a more normal state. So that pretty much sums it up. I would say just get started, even if you just buy one stock to get your feet wet and get used to it, get used to the idea and following the stock and how the movements affect your feelings. Like just getting started can really push you forward and help you to get more involved in the stock market and buy more stocks as you get more and more comfortable with how the whole process works. My next video, I'm going to be talking about common investment terms. So be sure to subscribe to this video so you can stay in the loop. Let me know in the comments below what you end up buying. And if you have any additional questions when it does come to buying your first stock, I'm really excited for you and happy that you've reached this point. See you next time. Bye.